Hello YouTube. Welcome to another video where I try to play chess at least adequately. You know the deal. What we usually do is start with five chess puzzles to warm us up. Then we play one 10-minute versus 10-minute zero increment rapid chess game, and then we analyze it. This video, it's double trouble. We're actually going to play two chess games and analyze both of them. You're in for a treat. Stay tuned. We're going to start today with our usual puzzle antics. So this is the first puzzle. It's on the screen right in front of you. In this puzzle, it's white to move, and white has to find the best move possible to them. First thing we notice is the black king is right over here on g8. Possible moves. We have a check here, but it's covered by the queen. Check here, covered by the knight. So I'm wondering if there's any other checks available to us. Doesn't seem like it. What can we do here? There's a pawn to win here. But that alone doesn't do anything because our rook is under attack. So what else could we possibly do here? I'm trying to think. What's a good move? I think potentially moving the rook here to attack the queen and the knight. Yeah, that's sound. So now we have a little bit of a proposal for a queen trade that would create a pass pawn or just accelerate the pass pawn's movement. We actually don't want to do that. Do we want to trade? Because if we trade, then we can capture this guy next. But okay, let's game this out here. Trades, captures, we capture, pawn ends up here, and then we actually cannot stop it in time because rook would come in. So trading here is not the best play. I think the best play is probably rook captures, and then rook can come back here to defend the pawn. Let's have a look. Oh, what do you know? The king's in check. So that doesn't even make sense. I believe it is king here. No, it isn't. Okay, let's see what the hint is. Is the hint captures? Oh, surprisingly. Okay. And is it captures? Yes, it is. But then how do we stop the pawn? We come in there. Okay. I had it. I think I overthanked that one. Let's go to this next position. It's white to move. Black king is right here. What moves do we have here? No real checks that I see. We have a check here, which doesn't accomplish anything. Double attack on this piece, but it is nicely defended. What isn't defended? This guy isn't defended. And the way to attack him would be here. This looks like a good move. Boom. And then we win a piece. There we go. That one was nice and easy. Let's go to this position, number 3 of 5. So in this one, it is white to move. White to move in this position. Black king is right here. We have a check here, forces the king here, only move. And then we can probably come up with some sort of plan. I feel like this must be it. Yes, it is. Oh, and that's just it. Because if king moves here, something happens. What happens here? Can't check with this. What am I missing as the critical move here? Oh, I don't see it. Anyway, puzzle 4 out of 5. Let's have a look at this one. White to move, black king's right here. This is a pinned piece. So we have this to attack a pinned piece. Oh, that wasn't it, surprisingly. Because the queen would hang. Queen would hang, so instead of getting the hint, let's just think about our next move here. Captures and captures. Yeah, that's the skewer we were looking for. Check, and then we win the queen. Okay. All right, final puzzle here. White to move in this position. White to move. Pawn forward doesn't seem like the way to go. Captures here doesn't make sense. We have mate threats here. But how do we position ourselves with tempo? Coming here and here kind of makes sense. Bishop can't really block. If pawn blocks, that's what we have to look at here. Pawn blocks is, I think, the only effective defense in this position. How do we counter that? If we go here, pawn blocks, then we check here, and then king. I think that works. Let's go, yes. Pawn blocks, we come here to check. There we go. King can only come here, and then we somehow win this. I think it's just infiltration. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Let's go over to our first chess game of the day. We're going to play a rapid game, so let's go over to that section of our handy-dandy chess.com interface. If you're interested in getting into chess, I have an affiliate link on my website. I think there's a link down below as well to make a chess.com make the chess.com account, either free or paid. Anything supports the channel. And if you already have one, thank you for supporting my partners at chess.com. All right, let's go to our first game. We have a handy dandy redacted tool here to save privacy of our opponents. Let's go e4, e5. I know a lot of you are going to complain about my lack of an imaginative opening here. Tell you what, deal is, second game we'll go for something a bit more spicy. Let's try to go with something tried and true here. The Ruy Lopez Old Steinitz defense is on the board. Looking for this to potentially weaken the king side more, and we get it. Pawn here is now well defended. Probably looking for a queenside castle for my opponent. They have moves like this, but we can deflect, put a bishop here just to defend, to relieve the pin. There we go, we have the bishop here, 2 bishop versus 2 knights. The threat here is this to win the piece. Let's give it a square to come back to. If this hits, we will captures, and there's a chance to win a piece there. No, they don't go for that, so we'll tuck you back. This bishop is now pretty awful, so we'll look for a pawn break here in order to make it a bit better. They played very well. They kind of blitzed out these moves, and this has left me with a pretty cramped position. Let's go right here just to threaten a pawn and see how they react. Okay, they go ahead and defend it. Now, which way do we want to castle? I think we have a moment or two to figure that out. If we push this pawn's defended once, so we'd end up with this, this, and this. Then this pawn's hit twice and only defended once because the queen's eye would open. Do we instead want to just go ahead and castle kingside? I mean, kingside here takes, and takes. A lot of pressure on our position. Let's instead first go for this move here, looking at this pawn. And of course, if they castle queenside to defend, that's fine because we will, in fact, now double up on this side. So castles might be in the cards to get a counterattack with the rook. Yes, yes, yes. So my bishops are pretty terrible. They've got the better minor pieces in this position, I would say handily. And the reason for that is, of course, the fact that my bishops are staring at nothing. This one's staring at our own piece. This one's staring at that thing. Okay. So this would be just fine for me. Captures here. I'm pinned this way, so we'll have to give up the bishop pair. I think in this position, best thing to do is just a castle. Captures, and then this. Okay. So this is a tough spot here. So I may lose a piece here, but instead of losing a piece, I mean, we'll lose it this way, right? We'll go in with check. Takes and takes is what we'll go for. If we go for this, captures, and I cannot capture back, and obviously I cannot capture right away because of this pin. Very uncomfortable. Let's go for the check and looking for a trade here. We'll see what they decide to do. They're up half a minute in time, nothing too fancy here. Takes and takes, we'll undouble pawns, not a big deal. Yes, now we will capture, and now this pawn serves a little bit as a blockading device. We'll obviously look for this from my opponent to continue their attack. So that's just fine. Undouble the pawn here. Looking for this to hit, which we will then close off the position with. Yeah. If this hits, I don't mind opening up that line. This is the next logical move. Might provoke something like this. We need to see what we do here. We also have the A pawn that we should start pushing at some point once we have some sort of defense. This pawn's nice and solid. I think maybe even moving the queen here first would be a good move. So now here is met with this, which is annoying. So instead, let's just go here, I believe. This is a move that's just fine. Now, is it just fine? I believe so. I mean, I also want to get something on this file, so we can end up with a little attack. But we're not there yet. Instead, I'm actually going to bring it backwards to defend this guy. And now I just ran into a nasty fork. So that's what you shouldn't do, kids. Now let's just give up the exchange, nice and badly here. Great. Now we're looking for this. Almost automatic unless they play something super juicy. Oh. Okay, that makes total sense on their part. And they will come in with check here. Takes with check, which will push us into the corner, and their attack will probably be unstoppable here. If I don't stop it, then a passed pawn, which I could blockade, but then the game is going to be a slow crawl, right? So let's take. They'll hit with this, and then we'll come in here. Yeah, there you go. We can come in here. We have deflecting moves like this if we need it. This move is still allowed in this position, I think, but our position is getting rather cramped. Unfortunate blunder on my part. But hey, that's chess. What do you want to do now? Just looking at this pawn, I mean, moving here is just going to result in this, I would say. That's fine. It allows me to get this in with tempo. And then we might have some ideas, right? This pawn is weak now. No queen to defend it. If we end up with a sort of sacrifice play here, doesn't result in anything yet. I'm hoping for this and this to open up yet more lines. Okay, they obviously do not allow it. And if I move this up, they will capture and try to compel a trade. I'm looking at this now. This pawn is weak. King captures. We can break into the position. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. At this point, we need to go bold. Queen does not cover the square. Very important. May allow us some perpetual ideas or even some mating ideas if they are foolish enough. We'll see. Sorry, I got my TikTok notifications going off on the side here. Let's dismiss all this. Spending time with you guys. Okay. Position is looking quite bleak, but hey, they just threw us a bone here. Let's see where we go from here. They will probably try to hide on the other side of the board, of course. So how do we block them off here, right? Check here, they tuck in. Check here. They may go here, which allows us this. Then they can come in here. They've got ideas. They've got a lot of ideas. But how do we hit him so this guy ends up undefended, right? Let's start with the, oh no, can't do that. That's not a good move, actually, because it forces a queen trade. Instead, let's go here to start. Allows us to take this pawn, and we have passed pawns here as a compensation, one could say. Takes here. It's too slow, right? Too slow. Checks here is just met with this, and then we have checks here after that, which is met with this, and then we have check here, which may be met with this, which we can check there, or they just come here. If they come all the way there, We can still take this pawn at the end of that line. Maybe they'll blunder and play something stupider. Let's see. Okay, as expected, now we have this check, which I think is a good move. Unfortunately, the rooks will be connected once he moves out of the way. Now here, in this position, we have this check here, which takes away some of their defensive resources, which I like. And at this point, we have this check here, but that would pin me once the rook moves in, so I don't want that. I like this pawn here as a defensive piece. Let's go here. Just capture a pawn. We have 3 passed pawns. Now it's going to be a case of trying to finesse a draw. I like this move, can't lie, to just take and then tuck the king in here. Don't see any tactics yet. The tactic would be if they come in here. If I defend here, this pawn is up for grabs, so I need to defend this way. Okay, all right, so we have an attack on us. We have an attack on us. Now, what do we do in this position? I would say check. I would check here, and then we can keep the pawns rolling. Yeah, they're really trying to figure out the best play. And then we have, I mean, we should not trade queens in this position, of course. Let's go here. Queen check makes total sense. Here, I don't think this loses a piece. This is not possible. This may be the way to go. Right here. No, I think we need to defend this pawn. I think I can. I think I can. Okay, so that was a complete and total blunder. Let's go here. And then here. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, I tried. I got a bit more chances than I had originally. That's fine. We'll go here. Still trying to get. I mean, here would have been good to try to trick them into checking on the diagonal that's covered. But alas, we cannot. This is now natural for them. Let's go here. Try and tuck the king in here potentially. Let's see how we get. What happens in this position. Okay, that's fine. We'll then come in here. Queen trade is going to happen here. I think we'll let them do it, I feel. So coming in here results in this, which would be even worse. Let's go. Let's take. Let's go here. Do our best to try to promote some pawns. Okay, that's great. Let's go here. Bring this guy up. They're still going to win. They've got a lot of things they can sacrifice for our measly pawns. This guy will be one next. We move him up. They can now take here with abandon. This game is lost. This is the point where we resign the game. You don't want to let things go too far. So I don't think we'll analyze that one, since, I mean, I can tell you where it went wrong. Right around here, right? Boom. This is what lost me the most advantage. So instead of there, any other square would have been better for the rook. Here would have been fine. Covers the square. So, you know, simple mistake like that can cost you a game, right? Hey, it happens, my friends. It happens. Let's go ahead and play another chess game. You guys are getting 2 since you've waited all week for this. I know I'm posting a little less regularly, so I want to find some way to make it up to you guys. All right, let's go into our next chess game here. 10 minutes. We still have our nice privacy barrier. All right, let's go. This one, you know what? For this game, we're going to go for the ready opening. Let's try the ready. It's an opening on no off by heart. Oh, and my opponent is actually going for it too. The ready symmetrical. Wow. They want to dance. Let's give them a dance. So now here, I think, let's take the center now, after all that. This is the Indian game, East Indian, a Polish word variation. That's nice. Nice development. Here, if anything like this is played, would be nice. Okay, attacking this pawn, which is defended once, so that allows me just a moment to get this guy in. Looking for this, and then we can do some sort of trade action and get the queen infiltrated in some lines. Okay, in this line, I like... We're gonna look for takes here, I think. Takes here... I mean, takes here is gonna double pawns. Takes here is fine, but I lose the bishop pair. But at the end of that line, I have another attacker here. So here, so takes, this pawn is attacked twice. Instead I have this, I believe. No, I don't have that because that's not defended. Let's not overthink this one. I mean, takes here, we will lose this pawn. It's attacked 3 times once this hits. But I can at least bring this guy in here to block one of the attackers. But what do we do in that after that? I mean, we do have this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Because also this pawn may be up for grabs at the end of the line, right? So now this seems like an idea which would lead to takes, but then also takes. Let's try this. Or if we end up with trades, this pawn can still fall here, I think. Lost a minute on that, so I need to be careful here. Not get too complacent in my chess journey. So they're puzzling this out too. Of course, they win a piece, right? But we have danger levels here, right? We're hitting the queen. Yeah, I think we saved our piece in the end. Make sure you don't come back here. That'll trap it. We want to come right here, which locks in this pawn, and we're hoping for captures next. Also defends this guy a second time. Okay, that's well and dandy, but it does open up their king side quite a bit. We'll defend, and also this opens up resources like this. King would go into the corner, and then we have to find ways to activate our bishop pair. We can undermine with a move like this, takes and takes. And they don't want to allow anything like that. Let's come in here first for a check. This is impossible. And then only then we'll open up a line here. Even then, do we want to open up the line? Or do we want to... No, we want to open up lines, I think. Let's go ahead and do that. We have rooks to use. Let's do that. This rook is defended. Thank God. No infiltration here because of this bishop. If this bishop moves, this square becomes available if it decides to come in on this diagonal. Let's keep that in mind. Could end up with a double attack here. So here attacks this once, attacks that twice. The only issue is once this hits, bishop's pinned, right? So I feel like they will see that and only defend this pawn. But it's something we could try in this position, maybe to force them to spend a bit of time thinking on it. Now, Decisions. So what does that accomplish? I'm not quite sure. This is not possible. I will try it. Let's try it. Hitting this, hitting that twice. Also, if this falls, this is also hit. But let's see. Expecting this. If that hits, both threats are neutralized, I think, because this is not even a real threat. And then we'll see what we do. Maybe something like this to threaten losing the exchange, which will result in them bringing you back, which might probably result in me just retreating here with check, and then maybe all the way back. We'll see. Or this, so okay, this, they play whatever, this, but then we have this to hit. Okay, they're defending this way. What kind of ideas do we have now? Huh. Their king is open, but there is not a lot we can do to get into position. We both have the bishop pair. That's what makes this a bit tough to really get going. This here is a pin, which will keep the tension going, and then potentially get a pawn on this square. It will not be a pass pawn though. Tough position. What if we go for this? Now this can hit. It's defended twice. That will be quite annoying. So maybe instead let's double up on the file. Still have ways for us to retreat. Still have pawn thrusts here to open things up just a tad bit more. So this, and this. And after that, we can put the pawn up and then hit that twice. I like this thrust. This, if they capture, they play whatever, and we push up, hitting this, and then hitting this twice. I think that may be my next plan. This is now still fine because we're defending the square twice, and it's going to be attacked twice. Okay. Prophylactically defending this twice on their part. This pawn is defended. So now our plan doesn't quite hit. Captures, hit here, hit twice, defended twice. But it does open up our bishop, which right now is not doing much. Let's try it. Have to win this one, guys. Lost the last one. We win this one, we will be actually up elo for the day, since both opponents we faced today were quite hard. Check here is an option. Also check here. This piece is defended twice, so check here results in a couple of ways for them to block, and it leaves me no further ahead. Check here also results in them blocking in some sort of direction. Let's crack open things a bit and see what this does. If this take happens, we have in-between checks that may save us, and also if the rooks need to get exchanged, they also come with check. So we'll see what they end up doing here. Opening up my position as well, my king side, so let's keep that in mind. I have good bishops here on the defensive. This pawn will fall, but do I have better moves here? I have check here, but that might lose me the tempo I need to take a pawn, right? Right? Let's then take the pawn this way. If this check hits, we take. Then they have ways to come on in, but we also, our bishop can just come back. Let's take. Let's not think super duper long on this one. Queen coming in here is an option. We can sidestep it and hopefully withstand the barrage. I like that word. Okay, now, yeah, I think that trade was almost automatic for them. This check would be a nice infiltration for them, and instead they have other plans. Because both bishops are hit. So we can come in first with a check. Okay, is there a winning move here? I mean, check almost forces this in some lines, but I don't have anything to back it up. Okay, let's go here. Start with a check, because what we need to do now is to get all of our pieces out of danger. This is defended twice. So after all the trades, I may be able to take this. No, I won't, because this guy will come out of there. Okay, that is all honky-dory. Let's take this. Then we'll end up with takes, and then we can take here. It is only defended once. This guy is luckily defended twice. Let's take this pawn. So that's 2 pawns, unless I really blundered something. We can also force queen trades in some lines, but my queen will be here, unless something unforeseen happens here in the next move. If we assume an automatic captures, okay, so you're out of danger, and now this is actually defended twice. So that was well played on their part. But we have this move here, luckily, to save our bishop. They have this and this, so they can win a pawn back, but then we also cover up with the rook. Okay, that's fine. We will take, I would assume, let's take. This will hit. Then we cover up this way. Then is this mate if we do that instead, actually? Am I just mated now? So covers up here. We end up with this check. And these squares are covered, and these squares are covered. So that would actually be GG. And if we come in here, is this also GG? Am I screwed now? Am I screwed? I think the best bet is to bluff him into this, because if I sidestep to my only square, we end up with this, and then I have nothing. Let's bluff him with this and just try. Let's try. Let's see what happens. Stranger things have happened, right? Let's give it a shot. They're probably just puzzling it out, making sure they didn't miss anything. At least I see my demise coming. I see the train coming. So it's not a surprise. There we go. Mate. So this one actually we are going to put into the analysis, because I do need to see how I could have played this one better. 2 blunders in this game. Let's go to the game report. Come along with me on a journey where we improve our chess game further. Interested to see how the evaluation shifted in this position. Yes, I know what a chess analysis is. Thank you very much, computer. Ooh, this sucks. My accuracy, 75. Their accuracy, 72. So first critical moment is right around here. A few moves ahead here. Right here, they capture. I move my knight up, which gives them a plus 2.6. Look at that, plus 0.5 to plus 2.6. When instead I should have doubled back to attack the pawn twice. Wow, look at that. And then they give the advantage right back. Play the best move to get out of this position. Great. Right here, I go from a +1 to a +2. And I play a good move, but not the best one to give me my advantage. So this thrust in a few of the lines here was actually well done on my part. Let's go here, see what happens. They gave me another, I guess, advantage here. But I mean, the heartbreaking part of the game comes right here, guys. Plus 2.8 for me. They blunder because instead of capturing back, the rook hung. Yeah, that was it. Rook hangs. Yeah, that's tough because they lose their firepower. Ends up in a mate in 2. From a plus 10 because I automatically retook to a mate in 2. Played the best defense, but I mean, there is no real defense here. And you know what, guys? It happens. What are you going to do, right? The important thing is we learned something today. We learned, I mean, nothing really specific except don't go from plus 10 to a mate in 2 if you can help it. And what that comes down to is, just spending 2 seconds to think on every move. It's a 10-minute game. I can afford myself that, and I should do that in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed switching up the openings for the second game. Hope you guys like 2 games instead of 1. Let me know if that is something I should do from now on. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting the thing below, giving me a like, telling one friend about this channel if it helps you. Be kind to one another until we meet again. Peace.